Hello, my name is Sue, and I'm here to share with you one of my most favorite things to do, tide pool. Here on the Mendocino coast throughout the year, there are opportunities for low tides like there are today, where if you know about them, and if you even have an idea of what it's like to go tide pooling, then you go and visit the animals in the tide pools. They're called invertebrates, essentially animals with no spines that come in a diversity of shapes, sizes, colors, and for a period of time out of the day, they are in these pools of water left from the ocean receding out, and they have to survive sunlight, air, exposure, limited space for a period of time. So before I take you exploring further, I wouldn't be a proper naturalist if I didn't share with you some tide pool etiquette. Essentially some tips about how to be the best visitor you can to the ocean and to these tide pools. So the important thing to check on first is when exactly the tide is low. You have about an hour and a half to 2 hours before it's low and after it's low to be able to explore safely. Also, you want to check on ocean conditions. And when you are tide pooling, you want to face the ocean always so that you can be prepared in case there's a wave that may sneak up on you. So when you go walking, walk gently and cautiously for your own safety and the safety of the tiny, delicate marine animals and organisms that might be living on the rocks or under the seaweed that you climb along. And you just want to be mindful of that. And so if you are going to explore in these videos, I'm gently touching these animals so I can teach you about them and maybe picking them up. But by all means, please just look with your eyes. And if you are curious, be mindful of not poking, prodding, pulling, or moving the organisms. You wouldn't want me to come in your house and pull you off your chair to check you out or put my finger in your mouth to see what you would do. And I believe that's all. So if in doubt, just look with your eyes. If you're curious, gently touch, be careful, be respectful, and enjoy. I'll showcase with you today in particular an animal that's in the phylum Echinodermata, or echinoderms, essentially spiny-skinned animals that are divided into 5 parts roughly. And within that phylum are sea stars. I grew up calling them starfish as well, but the scientists are very clear that they're not fish. So sea stars, urchins, and sand dollars are all within the Echinodermata phylum. So today I'm going to showcase sea stars, and what I find fascinating about sea stars is that they have no brain, no blood, no backbone, no heart, no eyes. And you're thinking, how does this animal exist? Pretty amazing, I know, but they do. And the bat stars have kind of like a webbing in between their legs, and let's count. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 legs. And what's interesting about the bat stars, they come in a variety of colors. And this guy here in the center is that gooey space there. That's where they would spit their stomach out. If they were trying to eat a mussel, let's say, they would pry open the shell just a little bit with their tube feet and then spit their stomach into the mussel, use digestive juices to start digesting the mussel's body, and then when they're done, pull their stomach out of the mussel and back into their body. I'm just pointing out to you, see these little row of tube feet? I'll see if I can get in there right here. There's a row of tube feet going in every direction of the leg. They have light sensors in the tips of their legs there, and that's how they know how to move without having any eyes. They have a water vascular system. On the top here is a little spot, and they use the water instead of having blood like us to help them survive, move, get food, and all that. And here we are with another type of sea star, a 6-armed or a 6-legged, and they're probably the most mysterious to identify because there's a couple different species type, probably even more than that, but they have 6 legs instead of 5, and some only get to be about the size of a quarter, and some will grow up to be 4 inches. And if I turn this guy over, which I only do if the animal allows me to nope, it's attached to the rock. If it lets me, I will lift it up and explore it, and if not, I leave it be. So this is pretty exciting. This is a different type of a sea star called an ochre sea star, and they're the keystone species in that if we see a lot of them in the tide pools, it's a sign that the ecosystem of the rocky intertidal zone is healthy. Unfortunately, our sea stars got hit with what's called a sea star wasting disease back in 2013 that killed off a lot of their population, especially the sunflower star, one that's about much bigger than this one, has at least 22 to 24 legs. But I'm seeing more and more of our friends, the ochre stars, and they come in this kind of orangey yellow color along with a purplish color, and they have a lot of tube feet, and I was going to try to pick this guy up to show you, but it's busy attached to the rocks and to this abalone shell. You might not be able to see it. See those little white bits? They're called pedicelaria, and it's like these teeny little scissors that if anything wanted to crawl on top of ochre star's legs, like a snail or a hermit crab, these little pedicelaria have the ability to be like, yep, nope, snip it away or help it not adhere. Describe it when you touch these sea stars, they're all slightly different. Ochre star is the most bumpiest, I would say. It's similar to the surface of a cat's tongue. If you've ever had a cat lick your hand, the surface of the sea stars is very much like the roughness of a cat's tongue. Pretty cool. Okay, so let's review. When you go tide pooling, of course, you need to be cautious and pay attention to the surf and find out when the low tides are. We discovered about a phylum of animals called Echinoderms, spiny skinned, and within those, the sea stars are called Asteroidea is the class, and so within them we saw bat star, ochre star, six-rayed star, and some interesting fun facts about our friends the sea stars is they can weigh up to 11 pounds, live up to be 35 years old. There's 2,000 different types of sea stars. If a crab pinches one of their legs off, they can grow it back. It might take a whole year to grow it back, but that's okay. So they have that ability of defending themselves if something tries to bite them, both with being able to regenerate their legs and with those pedicelaria on top like the ochre star. Pretty amazing. So I hope that you will someday be able to tide pool, and if not, that you enjoyed these videos. Have a beautiful day.